Hey there, and welcome to Harsh Lighting Edition. Let's back this up a little bit. Guys, I'm going to be at the full Steve Martin here pretty soon. Who'd have saw that coming? All right. Well, today my wife is here. She's like, "Are you gonna go on like that? You're looking at me like that, right? Like, don't you normally like put yourself together a little bit?" No, I don't. I'm just gonna do it. I just woke up, and it's not the morning. I laid down. Have you ever done this? Like, you know what? I'm just gonna rest my eyes for like 10 minutes. I got work to do. I'm just gonna close my eyes and take a little cat nap. And then, like, well, some hours later, in this case, a couple hours later, I woke up and I'm like, what time is it? But guys, I feel rested. I feel so excited. I feel rejuvenated. So listen, as I mentioned in my last video, Starfinder First Edition is bottoming out. And now's the time, if you love that game or want to try it, now's the time to scoop up some of those books. And the question is, what do you need to play? And I want to change the subject for just a second, actually. So I have a Tau army. It effectively can't be sold, which is good for me because I tend to just sell all my armies. Well, what business am I in? Okay, what do you need to play Tau in Warhammer 40K right now? It's 10th edition, right? I was playing it for a while when it first started up. That was like a couple years ago. And, okay, do I need a 10th edition core rule book? So please, somebody in the comments, just list out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I had some cards, but my understanding is there's 2 different sets of cards that come out with. And are the current ones current? Or are they already outdated? So cards, do I need to print out FAQs? Can you give me links? Can somebody like email me the links of the things I need to print off to understand the game? What else? Do I need objective markers, like those little neoprene mats? Are those still used? Do I need, not a general's handbook, what do they call it in 40K? The book that you get every season that has like, okay, here's how you play the game. I mean, and that's my guest list. So I'm hoping somebody will do it, will let me know. So here's this. So this is brand new. This looks great. And this was, I think, half off. So I'm real excited for that. A little splurge for Sean is to get a book. And yeah, it's really cool. So basically, these expansion books, they usually, as I'm looking through them all, they give like alternatives to the different classes that they have in Starfinder. So the Solarian, that's a paladin, by the way. That's their version of a paladin. Esotericist, interesting. Espionage specialist. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you can't get over that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this one's called the Character Operations Manual. And yes, so obviously this is just about characters. So yeah, every one of these books kind of gives the same thing. It gives some equipment, it gives some spells, it gives things to make more characters. And then it gives a little bit more on the background. But this one does not. This just straight up just gives you the standard races again. All right, well that's cool. Can't wait to give that a look through. My other show and tell for the day is this. Got this a while back. So first off, this is a book called Quests from the Infinite Staircase. And it is a book of adventures from like the 80s. So it's basically like a reprint of adventures from the 80s. They've all been revamped. And so I was really excited about it. I'm like, that's awesome because I remember these old adventures. Let's see, what do they have? They have The Lost City, one that I never owned or played. When a Star Falls, which is my #1 all-time favorite Dungeons & Dragons adventure by a long shot. Love it. It's the best. I even put it above the old-timey, Lost Caverns of Sarkanth, Tomb of Horrors, White Plume Mountain, stuff like that. Though I do love those too. Beyond the Crystal Cave, which is related to the one I just read. Beyond the Crystal Cave, that's an adventure from the United Kingdom. Pharaoh, and I've run the Crystal Cave, I think twice. I've run Pharaoh at least twice. Lost Caverns of Sarkanth, I've run maybe 8 times. Loved it, did a whole campaign about it. Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, I've run that at least once. In fact, I ran it as a Sky Realms of Joroon adventure. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adventures. But I gotta tell you, I don't know. So like the maps are great. They obviously did a bang-up job of the maps. But as I'm reading through these, you know what they did? They dumbed them down. So like, I can't even tell you how without spoiling it. In fact, maybe I'm doing a spoiler just showing you that map. And because when I was 14, my friend bought Lost Caverns of Sarkanth, and and he wouldn't let any of us see it. And this is age before computers. So there was literally, because he had bought it, and I didn't have the resources to just go buy a copy and look at it, and I didn't want to. I wanted to play in it. And so he bought a copy, but little did I know that would be my favorite thing. Like, I was just enchanted by this. I was like, oh, it's so mysterious. I'm looking at the cover. There's like a behir, like coiled up around this fighter dude, and a wizard's like blasting him with magic. Oh no, the behir's breathing lightning on somebody. So that's the magic blast. So I've got these memories of it. Maybe that's nostalgia for you. But anyway, this, I don't know if I'm going to buy any more of the remakes, because maybe I'm just too old and beardy for remakes of my beloved 80s modules. So there's that. And and this is the limited edition cover, and that's something they started doing in 5th edition. They started making these limited covers, and then for those of you that don't know, they started doing and then you get the normal kind, which they just keep printing, right? So the limited covers, and frankly, it worked. Me, would buy the regular one and a limited one just to store it and have it. And I'm just like, what a brilliant idea. And so limited edition cover, and other companies have done it too. They do, but usually the limited covers are like not very exciting. And the D&D ones were awesome. Some of them were like foil. They had guest artists. They did this really cool stuff on them, and they shot up in price. Like, they were insane. Like, I think the hardest one to find, I think, was Mordenkainen's Volo's Guide to Monsters was like 600, 900 for one, and that was like banana. And then of course it's gone down because what did they do? They revamped the edition, and now I think people. But it's the same. Like, instead of saying here's a new edition, it's backwards compatible, and usually people are like, but is it though? They actually did make everything backwards compatible. But they didn't say we made a new edition. But they did. They made a new edition. And so all the new stuff that's coming out kind of has those new spells and the new way that it is. And good on them. I like it. Things need to be refreshed once in a while, but not too much, which is what you have in Warhammer 40k. Ergo, my question. It used to be you would buy the rulebook, you would buy your codex, and maybe there was an FAQ floating around there somewhere. Of course, that had the disadvantage that, if your book was not great, it was never going to be great for 4 years. So at least now they're kind of updating it. So rules churn could be interpreted as rules refreshment, but I think they've gone well beyond that. And I think it's money. I think it happens in the boardroom that they, they're just like, oh, okay, this makes people go out, run out and buy things, chasing the meta, as it's called. And that's not just 40k. That's whatever. Oh, this is the book that I was looking for. This is a Pathfinder adventure path, which I love, and I just ran this. So in my Dungeons and Dragons game. Yeah, and I had some great ideas, and I had adventure hooks, and I run a sandbox, and let me tell you, it is a lot of effort to make a sandbox. And if you're going to do a sandbox with miniatures, boy, get ready to paint a lot of miniatures. And I do. I paint a lot for my game. Well, guys, that's it. I'm alive. It is Tuesday, September 16th. I'm very excited to be around. And, of course, I make videos and do what it is I do because it's fun. So sometimes I'll do a mental exercise like, well, how would I live my life if I just had, X thousands of dollars dropping into the account? Would I do that? And the answer is probably, because I enjoy it. And you've got to have community, and you would still go down, no matter how wealthy you are. You still gotta eat. You gotta take a shower. I don't know. Do the ultra wealthy have assistants showering them? Probably not. Uh-oh. Now you know. I've thought about that. And, you get in your car, you drive. Maybe you have a driver. So, and that is, yeah, see, I've kind of thought this through. I'm like, I wonder what that's like. So I guess if you have a driver, you have the time to yourself. You can sit back and talk to somebody. You don't have to be looking at the road. You kind of don't lose that little sliver of your life just driving. But I love to drive. People are like, oh, I need a ride to the game shop. It's Saturday or whatever. I'm like, oh, I'll come get you. I love it. I'll go do it. I'm a great driver. I'll put my foot on the gas pedal for 10 hours. And what else? Yeah, I think that's it. What's my time like? Oh, only 12 minutes. Ooh, Sean, what's going on? Your ramble's only 12 minutes. You gotta keep going. Well, maybe you guys can give me some topics to talk about. Well, and let me talk about my kids for a minute. I have a daughter who's 26, and I'm maneuvering things where I'm probably gonna have her take over the Instagram channel. She doesn't know the first thing about war games or whatever. I mean, she's been around it during her life, but her discovering that could be an interesting topic. And also, I'm just going to let her loose on what she wants to talk about. Like, she's into Transformers and stuff like that. So she's a nerd of a different type. And then my two sons, 23 and 20, they're not the kinds to jump in front of the camera and be like, hey, but they are the kinds to sit down and grind an army out. And that's impressive. And of course, they have their talents in areas where they're really strong, and then they have talents in areas where I have nothing like tech stuff. And then my 16-year-old daughter, who's just getting through high school, and we've got, and then I have a 9-year-old daughter. The 9-year-old daughter, she does want it. She wants her own channel. She's gunning for getting in front of that camera. And I'm like, all right, awesome. Well, maybe that's my mini-me. We shall see. We shall see how this all turns out. As far as blue table painting goes, some of you may be watching this video like, who is this guy? I started what once was the largest miniatures painting studio. And I do seriously claim to have pioneered it, at least in many ways, at the time, because it was an emerging industry. And now I have peace, and also it's split up. There's half of the studios in Utah, headed up by my 23-year-old son, and half the studio is in Oregon. And that's about 4 painters in each thing, so 5 total humans in each area. And the painters in Oregon, those are like the veterans. The average time, conservatively, I'd say would be 8 years working with blue table painting per person. Not that they're like, we have 50 years combined experience. What is it? 20 guys, you know. And no. That's the average of like each. They have all done just a ton of arms. And my son Jonah is brilliant. I mean, he's a great human and also a great painter. So, yeah. All right, well, that's all I got to talk about today. So maybe you guys can give me some topics or just say anything, because, you know, I'm up here on stage and it's like this phantom audience that's just staring at me with no response. Ah! All right. Bye.